welcome back. So I'm going to start today's video off just to letting you know that I've already washed my face, I've already moisturized, and I've also included a sunscreen with that as well. So I'm going to start off by using the Ordinary Primer. And you don't need a lot of primer to go on your face. Like, I probably use just a couple of drops. It may not seem like there's a lot there, but it goes a long way. And I'm just going to stick that, wipe that all over my face. So this is going on top of my moisturizer and my sunscreen. Okay, primer's done. So today I'm gonna stick with the Tarte BB cream. So it's just a tinted moisturizer. Again, extra moisturizer on my skin today. But, oops, like I say, I'm just gonna dot it around. That's just the way I put on my, I think I'm almost done. That's just the way I put on my concealer or my CC cream. And then we're gonna use our One Simple Girl foundation brush, just so you guys can get a look at that. And I'm just gonna dot it around. And I just do this, like I said before in another video, I just do this because I like to make sure that I'm covering every spot on my face. And then I go back in and I kind of rub it, blend it in, I guess you could say. You don't have to do it this way. This is just the way I do it. I feel like it goes on really even, but I mean, you could also just do it in stages, like do a section of your face at a time, and you can tell by the way you do it and looking in your mirror if it's gone on smoothly or not. Oops, sorry about that. That was my table. Okay, so that's all smoothed in, blended. Then we're gonna start with my bronzer. Today I'm gonna use actually the Hourglass bronzer that I had purchased. And I like this one because it's not a heavy bronzer. It's not dark. So I feel like you can do like layers and layers and layers of it on your skin and it looks really nice and natural. We're gonna use the One Simple Girl blending brush to put that on with. And again, I'm just circular motions to put it on my brush. It may seem like I'm using a lot, but because it's such a light bronzer, I don't find it goes on dark at all. So I always start with pulling it down from my cheeks. I make sure I put it up in my hairline. I'm going to I do the edging on my forehead, my jawline. I also go down my neck because I want to make sure that my skin blends in with my neck. There's nothing worse than when you see the big line on somebody's face because they didn't blend their makeup in. And then I'm just gonna put some on the sides of my nose. There. Now we're gonna use some concealer, and I'm really loving, so I had done a video prior to this. Actually, I'll show you the original one. So I had bought the Shape Tape from Tarte, tried it out, really loved it. Now I know why they always had advertising saying this is like the #1 in Canada or in the world. It's that great. So I just went and repurchased the larger one. Now, the only thing I can say about this one is it's a huge brush to put on with. So what I suggest is use a little bit at first because this goes a long way. So I'm just gonna dab it. And although I'm just doing little dabs, I promise you, I promise you this goes far. And if you're a person that you think it's not enough, just add more. So I'm just going to use my blending sponge just to blend all this in. And you don't have to necessarily use concealer if you don't want to. I do because I like how it brightens my eyes and it really makes your makeup, like your face, pop a lot more. But by all means, like if this isn't a step you do in your routine, you don't have to do this. This is just something, it's a preference. Makeup is all preference, people. If you just want to put on a little bit of blush in the morning and that's all you wear, then grab your One Simple Girl blush brush or highlighter brush and put your blush on and away you go. You don't have to do concealer or CC cream or any of those things. It's strictly preference, and you don't have to feel obligated because you see other people doing it. Some people just wear a little bit of bronzer. They don't wear concealer. They wear a little bit of bronzer just to look a little sun-kissed, some mascara, and that's about it. And oddly enough, you know what, guys? That's the more natural you can make yourself look with your makeup, I promise you, you'll look a lot nicer. Because no matter how often I try to go really light with my makeup, you can always tell. As soon as you start putting matte finishes and powders and things like that on, I'm like, you can really tell that someone has a lot of makeup on. Just keep yourself as natural looking as possible. So we've done our CC cream foundation, whichever one you want to use. We've done our bronzer, we've done our concealer. So I'm just gonna stick with my blush next. And I'm gonna use, I'm gonna go with this Tarte one. It's called Quirky. It's a nice, it kind of looks pinky there, but it's not. It's more of a peachy kind of color. And I'm gonna try that one out today. So like I said before, we're gonna use our One Simple Girl blush brush. I also use this for my highlighter too. I use a different one, but I do use this brush for it because it's a multi-use one. So I'm just going to, I just kind of dab in there, and then I start with the apple of my eye, or the apple of my cheek. So if you want to know where a good place to put your blush, if you've never used blush before, is just smile. And right here, that's where you want to start your blush. I always carry my blush up like into my hairline on the side here. I just find it really blends it in nicely so that it doesn't look just a dot of makeup right there. So, and once you do this a few times, it will be really second nature to you. It won't be hard at all. And then again, I use just a little bit at a time, and I just keep blending and building it. I also like to add a little bit of blush to, as you saw, in other spots. So I do my chin, I do my tip of my nose, and a little bit of my forehead, and I don't use a lot. I just use a little bit, and the purpose of that is just so that everything blends in nicely. Okay, so we've done that. Now today I'm going to use an older Tarte, an older Tarte palette, but the colors were so nice. They're a little bit on the neutral, this one's a little bit plum, and this one has a shimmer in it. They're just really pretty. They're not bright colors by no means. So we're gonna start with our One Simple Girl. I'm using the large brush at this time because I'm gonna use it to do the base. So I take the lightest color. If I buy palettes, I take the lightest color there is in the palette, and I usually cover my whole eyelid with that. So that's what we're gonna start with. I'm just gonna dab it, blow off the excess, and apply to the entire lid. So your makeup should really be a simple accessory that you add to yourself in the morning. It's like wearing a scarf with a shirt. It's just an accessory. It's just something you add on. It shouldn't take you hours and hours to do this. Again, I've said it in other videos, if you're going on a date night, you're going out with the girls, you're going out for drinks, by all means, you can go a little bit heavier and you add those extra little things. But for your day-to-day makeup, it should be really quick. So far, time-wise, it's taking me probably less than 10 minutes to do what I've done, and that's with talking in between. So, okay, so I'm just gonna take the next color on that palette. So we started with the base. This one's got just a hint of mauve in it. I'm just gonna add that. And basically I'm just gonna add, and this one I'm not gonna push it all the way to the top. I'm just gonna cover my lid with it this time. And we're gonna copy and do the exact same thing on the other side. Now I've used a completely clean brush, so I can keep using this. I'm not gonna change my brush as I go because I wanna show you that you can use the same brush to complete your eye look. And because I'm starting with the lightest shade going to the darkest, it won't affect the color that's going on my eyes. Okay, so then the next color here is, so we started with the lightest for the base. I put this on my lid. I'm just gonna go with the next darkest shade. Just be mindful when you're doing that. Add a little bit at a time. You don't need to put on a lot of makeup to make a difference. Sometimes just a very small amount makes a difference. And then you just build it. So I'm just doing like a wiper motion and then just blending by doing circular. And as you can see how that's turning out. So again, I usually kind of dab it on a little bit and then I do my wiper and then I always go back in with the circular motion because I want to make sure it gets blended in properly. So then the next color I'm going to use is, it does look very, very dark here. I'm not going to use the plum one. I'm going to stick with just this brown one, but I'm going to use a very small amount because it's so dark. And I just don't want to. You can always add. You can always fix makeup. It's just makeup. You just wash it off your face. But if you were in a rush to go somewhere, if you're really, if it's new to you and you've never used this palette before or something, I always say just use a very small amount and just keep adding and adding and adding. That's what everybody does. There's no secret to it. You just keep adding and that's where you get your color from. If you watch makeup artists, they do the same thing. They'll start and they'll just keep adding for depth until they get the color they want. I mean, sometimes it's the odd person that they've done the look before, so they know they just pile it on right away. But most of the time, you know what? They do the same steps. They start with a lighter color and they just keep building, building, building until they get to where they want to be. So that's it for today. Those are the only 3 colors I'm going to wear. So I wore, oh, sorry, maybe I did 4. Yes, I did. So I just did a light base, a little bit of a darker mauvier color. Then I went with a medium darkness, and then I went a full dark. And all I did was stay in this area of my eye. That's it. And you can afterwards, if one looks a little uneven, take a clean brush. You could use the same thing like this. Take a clean brush and just go over and start blending both of your eyes in. And that's it. You clean your brushes afterwards and you can still reuse them. You don't have to have a new brush for every single palette you have. Okay, so we're gonna do our eyebrows now. So I picked up, oh, you know what? I will add one more color because I came across this on the weekend and it's not a newer color. It's from the Bobbi Brown collection. I guess it's hard to kind of, what I loved about it is that if it might be hard for you to see there, It looks like it's a silver. I accidentally took a chunk out of it. It looks like a silver eyeshadow, but it's almost like a clear, sparkly one. So I'm just gonna use my finger. As you can see there, I don't know if you can kind of see. And I'm just gonna put it on my lid. It won't change the color that you have on there. It will just add this beautiful shimmer on top. It is the prettiest shimmer I've ever seen. Okay, so this is called, it's either Mica or Mika, and it's just a sparkle eyeshadow. I think this was I got it on sale. I think it was like $12. It was the best $12 I've ever spent on makeup in a long time, because I'm very, very happy with it. Okay, so we've got our eyes, we've got blush. I didn't put any highlighter on, so I will do that next. And the one I've been running to is my Hourglass one. I absolutely love it. I'm gonna use, again, I'm just using a clean One Simple Girl angled brush. So you could use this for your blush, you could use this for your highlighter, you could use this for bronzer. I just like to use it for, usually I stick with my blushes and my highlighters with this. I really, really like the angle. So I find this one, again, the Hourglass one, is really buildable. So you can put on, I don't want to say put too much on, but I feel like you could put a little bit extra on and it's not so strong that you feel like, oh wow, I just put like a white line on my face. Now, me, it's preference where I put mine. Because this one's such a fair highlighter, I feel like I can really put it a lot, like all over my face. So I'll do my chin, I do my nose, I do a little bit on my forehead, and I do my higher cheeks. And I just kind of, it's like as if I'm following my blush. I just go a little bit above it, that's all. And I really find this gives, it's a very natural highlighter. I don't want to say neutral highlighter, that's not a good word for it, but it's very natural looking. So when you put it on your face, you're not going to look at me and say, oh wow, she's got like a pile of highlighter on. It's very, very subtle. It's so pretty. So anybody who wants to maybe dabble in highlighter because you've never tried it before, I highly recommend the Hourglass one. And all I did was I picked up not a sample size one, a travel size one. It's still pretty large. And there's the color. So you could see it's not quite pinky, but a little bit. Anyway, really great way to try something out. Just get the travel size one before you get the large one. See if you like it. And if you do, then of course, when you run out, buy the bigger one. Okay, so eyebrows it is. So I've recently purchased this and it was just at, where did I buy this one? Oh, you know what? I don't even have the label of where, oh, here we go. Milani, I don't know if you can really see that on there. Anyway, it's just, so I bought it, it's I don't know, I don't want to say two-step, but it's like two things in one, right? So you have your little brush where you can brush your brows. So usually what I do first is I just brush my brows. Then the angled one here, probably can't see it, there you go, is to apply the paste with. And it, I don't want to say paste, but it kind of seems like that a little bit. So again, you just put it on the way you like. I'm just trying this out. I saw it, I needed some new eyebrow product to try. So I'm trying it out. I still haven't found my favorite yet. I find there's a couple of good ones out there, but they don't last long, so it's a costly thing to keep replying. This one here, I feel like because it's more of a paste, it helps really shape them more than it adds color. So I'm thinking next will probably be, so all I do is usually I just dab it in here and I just start at the bottom and I just bring it up. And that's it. And then I give it a little brush like that just to make sure it's blended nicely so it doesn't look blotchy. And that's it. So I can't say I love it, but I don't dislike it. My favorite brow one is I can't even remember where I think I got it at a Shoppers. I don't even know what it's called, but I know what it looks like. I'm not sure where it's from. It's so old, you can't even look at the tag in the back, actually. I'm out, and I will not shoot this container out because I never want to forget what it is. That's how good it was. I liked it. It was more of a powdery look though, so I really like that. So we're just gonna add some mascara because this look is done. And again, I'm just using the Tarte, I think it's called Lights Camera Lashes. It's just my preference. I really like this mascara. Comes off really easily too when I'm washing them. That's it, guys. So just a really easy look. So this video has been about 20 minutes and I could say I probably could have done this makeup in 10 minutes without talking with you guys. But I just wanted to give you a little tips along the way and just tell you a little bit of information about stuff I use. But that's it. That's how easy it is. It shouldn't take you a long time to do your makeup. I'm gonna add a little bit of lip gloss. Again, this is one of my favorites. It's from Tarte. And it's just one of their glosses. I've talked about it before on my channel. It's just a preference. I like it. This one is, it's called Rose. Just gives you a nice little color. So there you go. There's your makeup for the day. Hopefully this helped you guys out. I'm sure I'll do more tutorials on makeup and products and stuff. So until next time, we'll see you in my next video. Bye guys. Have a great day.